Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, I'm sick of being sick. Y'all do me one favor. Go find somebody else that you didn't come to church with and say, I'm sick of being sick. Grab your Bibles, grab your Bibles. We're moving fast tonight. Grab your Bibles. Go to Mark chapter number 5. Bishop, I'm sick of being sick. Listen, let me tell my testimony real quick. I brought my fiance to get prayer the other day. And Bishop was praying for her. And the anointing was moving so strong and so fast. The power of God literally came into the whole church. Bishop shot that anointing through her and then threw it at me. And all of a sudden, Bishop say, son, there's some infirmity that is inside, something I did not know of. Bishop say that there's something going on in your heart. And it seemed like I start throwing up bags and bags and bags and bags of all kind of fluid and infirmity, all kind of affliction that was in me. I'm talking about stank. I'm talking about, you would have came in here, I promise you, you would have literally wanted to walk right back out or pass out one. But I thank God for the healing virtue that lies in this church. Not just the church, but the leaders in the church. So tonight we're going to move fast. I thank God for my healing. I thank God for my healing. I thank God for my healing. Mark chapter 5, verse number 25, and it reads, and a certain woman which had an issue of blood for 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. When she heard of Jesus, when she had heard of Jesus, came in the press behind and touched his garment. For she said, if I may touch his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body she was healed of that plague. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press, the crowd, and said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude, and sayest thou, who touched me? And he looked around about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace and be whole of thy plague. I want to focus on verse number 28. For she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be made whole. Do me one more favor. Say, neighbor, I'm sick of being sick. Now it is brought to us, to our attention, that Jesus, he was on his way to Jairus' house, and is confronted with yet another afflicted situation. Many people that was in the crowd were excited to see Jesus, but did not know that what they did not know that what they would see was a miracle face to face. Not knowing that there was a woman in the crowd focused on her severe bleeding issue. For 12 long years, this Jewish woman is suffering with the flow of blood. Went from doctor to doctor, lost everything she had, including all of her money. But it was one thing that she did not lose, and that was faith. It was one thing that she did not lose. It was hope. The number 12 means, in my studies, the number of authority. And it was not until the 12th year when she made up in her mind that I am seriously sick of being sick. The woman hears the report that Jesus will be passing by. Ready for her healing, she seeks him out. Because of her uncleanliness, she makes her way through the crowd and get cautious as she can, anxious to get to Jesus. Now I can see her saying, if I can just touch the hem, I know I will be made whole. Can I stick a pin there and say this? As a leader, we must understand you must be a healed man to heal sick people. So it puzzled me that this sick woman came to a healed man to get her healing. It's imperative that the leaders of the church, I put this on Facebook the other day, it's imperative that the leaders of the church are healed from any affliction before praying for members of the congregation. You don't want to be contaminated in a room full of people with weak immune systems. Which brings me to say this: Jesus had to be healed and had to have enough anointing to handle the affliction of the woman. And Jesus, verse number 30 says, and Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that the virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude and sayest, who touched me? And he looked around about to see her that he had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, here's what got me. How are you scared when you just got healed? My Jesus, my Jesus. So the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, daughter, thy faith has made you whole. I got one thing to tell you tonight. If you don't know how, just remember who did it. Thank you, God. And the prayer of faith, James 5:15 says, and the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he has committed sins, they shall be forgiven. 3 John 1:2, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prosper. I got to go back to verse. I got to go back. She said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment. Well, tonight I came to tell you this faith is the key to being healed. You got to have faith. The Bible says faith without works is completely dead. So tonight I came to tell you, if you're sick of being sick, you must have the faith. You must have the faith that you can be healed. You must have the faith that you can walk in the authority of healing. You must have the faith to know that you can walk in this walk of being a healed soldier. It's one thing to be a soldier, but it's one thing to be a wounded soldier. My God. I'm reminded of people in the army. When they are wounded, they cannot fight, Bishop. But one thing I do know, that if you are wounded and you cannot fight, you are no good soldier. So if we in the kingdom know that we want to prosper, we in the kingdom know that we want to walk in the gift of healing, we must first be healed so that we can heal others. I come to tell you tonight that I'm literally sick of being sick. I am tired of being sick in my mind. I'm tired of being broke. I am tired of being judged. I am sick of being lied on, and I'm sick of being mistreated. But one thing I can say is I'm sick of being sick. You ought to grab your neighbor tonight and tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, I'm sick of being sick. I've been sick long enough. I've been down long enough. But if I can touch the hem of his garment, I know I'll be made whole. Please, do not dismay. Whatever betide, my God will. He'll take care of you. He'll take care of you. They that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. They shall, yes sir, they shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. I got to go. I got to leave you, Jackie in the back. We've been made until very night, but joy got to come. Brother Hilton, joy got to come. I've been sick long enough. I'm sick of being sick. I'm sick of being tired. I'm sick of being broke. I'm sick of not having no money. My finances, they got to get better. Oh yes, Lord. My marriage, it got to get better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody looking at me funny tonight. But I got one thing to tell you. If you're sick of being sick, let me see you stand up on your feet and give God the praise that is due. Give him the praise that is due. I'm sick, you sick, we sick of being sick. Yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah! I dare you to praise him. 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 I dare you to open up your mouth. I dare you to open up your mouth. I say let everything. I say let everything. I say let everything. I say let everything. Ah, yeah. Let everything. I'm done tonight. But if you know that you're sick of being sick, just lift your hand up. I'm done. Governor Hanks is coming. But just lift your hand up.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Auntie Bobby, I've been sick long enough.
Thank you, Jesus.
It may not be 12 years, but it's been long enough. I don't know how long you've been battling, but I know it's been long enough. A day is long enough for me. I'm sick of it. Lift your hands up. Get what you are sick of on your mind right now. Mind you, now remember I said this is a faith thing. So get what's on your mind right now. I'm sick of not having no money. I'm telling you the truth. Get it on your mind. Come on. Now for the next 30 seconds, I want you to worship him like it's already gone. Worship him like it's already gone. Governor is coming. Bishop is coming. But praise him and worship him like it's already gone. We've been battling long enough. Holy man, we've been battling long enough. been battling long enough. We've been going through the motions long enough. I'm gonna tell you what I am sick of. I'm sick of coming in church and we know that the church is supposed to be packed. We know that this is one of the biggest churches in Marion. So if you don't have nothing that you're sick of, at least be sick of coming in church week after week knowing that it's supposed to be more than this. Minister Diane, it gotta be more than this. If I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto thee. If I be lifted up. Matter of fact, let's lift them up tonight. Come on, lift your hand. Let's lift them up. Let's lift them up. Bishop, that's prophetic. Let's lift them up. If I be lifted up. Come on, let's lift them up. We give you glory. We give you glory. We give you glory. Come on, let's lift them up. We give you glory. We give you glory. Come on, let's lift them up. Lift your hand. I need thee. Come on, let's lift them up. Every hour I need thee. Oh, bless me now. My Savior, I come to, we come to thee, we need thee, oh, we need thee. Come on, let's lift them up, holy man. Every hour we need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Come on and clap your hands if you love the Lord. Come on and clap your hands if you love the Lord.